And the thing that I have like etched into my head is I vividly remember this to the point where I'm not even sure if it's true anymore. It's just a thing that I remember is Reagan calling Hekmatyar the George Washington of Afghanistan. And I just... I mean, knowing...
Which is hilarious to me because Gulbuddin Hekmatyar refused to meet Ronald Reagan when he was on one of these junkets in Washington because he said, and I quote, "Why would I want to meet him? He's a kafir."
Oh my God.
When he's right, he's right.
In addition to this, one thing that's not mentioned in the film is that the Saudis did match aid to Afghanistan, but they also had discretion over where it went. They didn't supply weapons. What they did was they built up religious education facilities and other facilities like for refugees.
Madrasas to create Talibs.
To create the fucking Taliban. So, I mean, when you have a displaced refugee population, these people then went back to Afghanistan and things continued to get worse. And like, I don't want to sound like some kind of like a fucking apologist for, I don't want to sound like, oh, well, what they did was bad and therefore America should have done more. But like the fact that they didn't see it coming, to me, I don't think that this film really addresses that in any meaningful way because this film basically says everything we did was good until it was bad. That's the bait and switch, I guess. Yeah.
Well, people don't know that Taliban means students, like students at these madrasas. But like also the quote that it ends with from Charlie Wilson is that America fucked up the end game. Right. That's his thing. America didn't intervene enough.
Transition.
Yeah, and the idea is at the very end we see him. He's going around Congress because he's a good man and he's trying to get like a measly $1 million for like building schools. And if you build schools, then there won't be crazies because having given some of the like most insane Salafists in the world $1 billion, and
no one who's ever been to a school has ever become a shooter,
and sent them a bunch of Saudi fail sons, like some fucking construction heir who's probably never going to amount to anything, so he can go off and do jihad, and we'll never hear from him again.
He doesn't even know how to land a plane.
Yeah, exactly, right. That's fine. All of that will be offset if we just build the schools. They will do liberal democracy in Afghanistan. It is the most mind-brained shit I can imagine.
Also, as if $1 million would be anywhere near enough to achieve any of that.
Well, also don't forget, it's what America then did just far later. And, you know, now Afghanistan's fine. I want to close this out with this quote about this discussion between Charlie and Gust, where Charlie says, "Come on, Gust, what else do you want from me? I turned $5 million into $1 billion for Afghanistan. I managed to get a Democratic Congress in lockstep behind a Republican president. And then an airplane flies loudly overhead."
It's the yeah. The thing is, right, Tom Hanks...
But the Democratic Congress in lockstep behind a Republican president for foreign intervention, that is the Aaron Sorkin dream. That's what Aaron Sorkin wants.
This movie was made in 2007.
Yeah.
But like also the thing is, right, Tom Hanks, it wasn't even Sorkin, it was Tom Hanks who said that he didn't want the movie to end in 9/11 and he vetoed it. And I think that instead of doing the thing where you don't show 9/11 but you do show a scary plane noise, you should have done the opposite way around, where you show 9/11 but you put the stirring Hans Zimmer strings over it. So you have the like rising patriotic music as they fucking slam into the South Tower.
Are you suggesting that this would be the Taliban version of Aaron Sorkin would have done that?
No, show 9/11, but just with comically fast-paced oud music.
Yeah, Taliban Aaron Sorkin is a tremendously funny bit. Yes.
So but we've been gone for probably the longest we've ever gone. So
we have gone longer than the actual movie itself. Right at this moment.
Seamus, before we end, I want to throw back to you for your final judgments.
Okay. I'm gonna do a little short anecdote here. When I was growing up as a Muslim convert as a teenager, I was I was at a library at a mosque in Portland, Oregon, and the library was not organized at all, but there was just kind of books strewn everywhere. And I remember seeing a book that it was a pamphlet. It was a very, very old pamphlet. I probably had not been touched in like decades. And the book was called The Signs of Ar-Rahman in the Jihad of Afghanistan. It was a book describing the miracles that God had supposedly placed on the Mujahideen in Afghanistan, talking about how when they were in battle, their bullets didn't deplete. When Mujahids were shot in the eye, it didn't hurt their eyes. When tanks rolled over them, nothing happened. Dogs would eat Soviet corpses, but not the corpse of the Mujahideen. The way, every single way in which the Afghan war is seen by the Mujahideen is not in any secular way. It's through the lens that this was a religious war, but not just a religious war. Since the rise of ISIS and Al-Qaeda, the war in Afghanistan is seen as one of the last times that Muslims around the world who are willing to go on jihad, the last time they were united in such a way where there was no intra-jihadi fighting. Everyone knew that
it was
Soviets
the last
were
good war.
To have researched that amount about this, to have seen so much, to have talked to people who have lived through this and fought in it, and to see Aaron Sorkin come away with not only the opinion that this war worked out great, it would have worked out great if we had just done some things differently, but to have come away with the idea that this war wasn't a religious war, that this war could have been a secular one, that it wasn't flawed from the very beginning. To have this opinion in 2007, after 9/11, after the Taliban took over Afghanistan and then had to be thrown out of Afghanistan, basically. After all of this, to have come away with that opinion, Aaron Sorkin's level of idealism can never be measured by any human scientist.
But the important thing is that the guy was really horny.
God, I don't even think people at the Heritage Foundation praise this film. I don't even think people at the Heritage Foundation would have seen the Afghan war as rosy as Aaron Sorkin does. Aaron Sorkin somehow, I'm in awe.
All of the war crimes go in one direction, and it's the Soviets, and it's exactly. 3 Soviet guys who just kill a horse, and then they get shot down instantly, and everybody just dies in a big fireball, and nobody has to go up to the wreckage and cut a guy's throat, which happened all the time. It's totally antiseptic and very, very weird and gross, and it made me so angry watching this movie.
But hey,
I'm gonna do my final verdict because my mum's made dinner. My final verdict is that Charlie Wilson, cool guy, does loads of cocaine, drinks, likes to fuck. I think all politicians should be Charlie Wilson. They just shouldn't get to make any decisions, but they should just be entertaining us all by just talking to the press about how much they drink. That would be awesome. I would love that if we didn't have to have sanctimonious politicians, but just ones who were just drinking and whoring the whole time.
You want every politician to be the governor in the best little whorehouse in Texas.
So
exactly. And also buy a t-shirt, send an email to the address, to the link in the description.
Yeah. Oh, we'll put that in. But I think that's as good a place as any actually to round this off. If we have nothing further from the panel.
I have a commercial for my thing of animal fat spread buffet restaurant, Margarine Bar America.
And also, additionally, I just want to thank Séamus for subjecting himself to this terrible film for us.
I watched this. Okay, last comment. I watched this film once in Beirut in preparation for this episode, which then got delayed for obvious reasons. I watched it once again on the plane back, and during that time, I thought one of my family members had coronavirus, so I was panicked the entire time. They don't now. And then I watched it again last night. I live in this film now. This film lives in me. I inhabit it. It inhabits me. I hate it. I never want to see it again. I'm gonna do brain surgery on myself to get this film out of my mind.
What if the coronavirus is God punishing Tom Hanks for doing this movie?
Oh God!
Oh,
I don't even want to think about it.
That's right.